Hello and welcome. Today is day 1 and video number 1. In this video, I'm going to cover cloud introduction. We are going to talk about these two topics. Topic number 1 is definition of the cloud and the second is the characteristics of the cloud. So let me start with the definition first. Cloud computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet with pay-as-you-go pricing. Okay, so this is the definition of the cloud as per AWS. Now let me explain you this particular definition. So for example, if you have a application, it can be web application or it can be a normal accounting application that you are using for accounting in your company, right? Now to run this application, you must have these four things. First is you must have server. Yeah, server is like a hardware which contains CPU, which contains storage, which contain RAM, which contain networking components, right? So the first thing is you must have server. Now the server is a hardware in which you have to install operating system, and then on the top of application operating system you have to install application as well, right? So the first requirement is you must have a hardware, and basically we call it server. Second thing is you must have rack to place this servers. Second thing is to maintain the consistent temperature of the server, you must have cooling. And the fourth thing that you must have is a redundant server. For example, if I'm having only one server and I'm installing one application into that particular server, what happens if my server goes down? Okay, my service will be interrupted and my user cannot able to connect with the application, right? So if you want to provide uninterrupted service, you have to provide redundant environment. Okay, so basically in the redundant environment you have a backup system for each and everything, right? So this is what we are using when we have on-premises infrastructure, and this is what we require if you want to run your application, right? Now if I'm saying you that you don't want to buy any of this stuff and you can use all these resources, okay, you can use all these resources from the cloud service provider and you can access these resources using internet, and the pricing is like a pay as you go pricing, so you do not need to invest any amount of money when to buy all this stuff. Instead of that, you can deploy the resources into the cloud service provider and you can pay them as pay as you go pricing model, right? So this is what we can say about a cloud. Now there are one thing is like, what is cloud service provider, right? So there are many companies that are providing cloud services to us. For example, AWS is a cloud service provider, Microsoft Azure is a cloud service provider, Google Cloud Platform is a cloud service provider, right? So we can deploy our resources there and then we can use them using the internet, and we just need to pay them as a pay as you go pricing model, right? So this is a clear definition of the cloud. Now let me explain you these 5 characteristics of the cloud so you can better understand the cloud services. The first is self-service provisioning. Now this is a really most important topic about cloud. Okay, the first thing is, for example, if I want to deploy resources, for example, if I want to deploy servers into the cloud, right? So how can I start with it? The first thing is you just need to create account into the cloud service provider website. Okay, for example, if you want to deploy resources into the Amazon, you just need to deploy resource, like you just need to create one account into the AWS. Okay, and then whatever you want to deploy, you can deploy using a simple wizard. Okay, so you do not need to contact them, call them, you do not need to be there in the queue. Okay, you do not need to send them email. Okay, and then they will deploy your servers and then they will call back to you that your server is deployed. No, there is no waiting period. Whatever you want to deploy into the cloud, you can deploy using a very basic simple wizard, and you can deploy with your own. Okay, so this is what we call a self-service provisioning. Okay, so whenever user want to deploy resources, they can deploy using with their own uh, with their own with their own requirement, as per their own requirement. Okay, so this is what the self-service provisioning. Second is elasticity. Now see, whenever we are using our servers on premises, yeah, we have to face some problems. For example, load is not predictable. For example, if I'm hosting website into my on premises server, and when I started, I just realized that okay, maybe 100 concurrent user will be there, so I just deploy my infrastructure as per the user requirement of the 100 users, right? But what happened, like my website become popular, and now 50,000 users are daily connecting to my website. It is like a 50,000 simultaneous user. Yeah, my infrastructure was for 100 users, but now I'm getting 50,000 visitors simultaneously. Okay, so in this case you have to increase the resources. Okay, you have to increase the RAM of your server, you have to increase the processor of your server. Maybe if the users are storing the data, you have to increase the storage capacity of the server as well. Now if you are using on premises infrastructure, okay, you have to add this hardware into your system. You have to order your vendor, then they will provide you hardware, and then you have to install this hardware into your server, and then you can utilize this hardware for 50,000 users, right? But when we are talking about cloud, this is really very easy to increase the resources, because you can do it using a single click. Okay, now sometimes it has happened like there is a festival is going on and users are free, so I'm getting 50,000 users. This is good. But now festival is over, regular days are going on, and now again I'm getting 100 visitors only. So the problem is now this infrastructure which is for the 50,000 users is now useless, because now only 100 users are concurrently accessing my website. Okay, so in this case, if you are using cloud, you can decrease the capacity of your server as well. Okay, so whenever you want to increase the capacity, you can do it using single click. Whenever you want to decrease the capacity, you can do it by using a single click as well. Yeah, but when we are talking about on premises infrastructure, this would be the difficult. Yeah, we can increase the capacity by ordering some new hardware to our vendor. Yeah, but if it is useless, yeah, if there is no 50,000 users connecting right now, we cannot give this order back to our vendor, right? So yeah, on premises we are not getting elasticity. I can say that in on premises infrastructure we are not getting elasticity, but in the cloud you can. Okay, and the biggest advantage of is, like, suppose you increase the capacity, yeah, you have to pay them as per the increased capacity pricing, and if you are lowering down your capacity, then you have to pay as per the new lower capacity infrastructure, right? So this is the advantage of the cloud, that you can increase and decrease the capacity of your resources by using only single click. This is what we call elasticity. The third advantage is a pay per use. Okay, now what is the meaning of the pay per use? See, for example, if you are talking about on premises infrastructure, okay, we must have server, we must have server rack, we must have cooling system, and we must have to deploy the redundant environment as well. Now these stubs require lots of investment. Okay, so if you are going to work with the on premises infrastructure, you have to purchase all this stuff. Okay, and not only like this is what we call a capital expenditure. Yeah? It is like a one time cost, like you are purchasing all this infrastructure one time, but there is one another thing that you have to consider, which we call, it is like operational cost. Yeah, if the server is running 24/7, it's require electricity. Okay, so now you have to pay electricity bill every month. For cooling, same thing is happens, right? So when we are using on premises infrastructure, we are having two type of cost. One is a capital expenditure, the one, like we call it like a one time cost to buy all this stuff, and the second is we call operational expenditure. Maybe we have to pay every month to run all this infrastructure. But when you are going to work with the cloud, you are not going to buy any of this stuff. Okay, so we can say that in the cloud we don't have capital expenditure, right? Yeah, we have to pay them rent, we have to pay rent to the cloud service provider, and this is the rent we are paying as we are using the resources, right? So yes, in the cloud there is no capital expenditure, we are paying them whatever we resources are using, and like we can say that there is every month billing that we need to pay them, right? So whatever the resources you use, you will get monthly billing system, and then you have to pay them, right? So the big advantage over here is we do not need to install money for the capital expenditure. Okay, now the fourth advantage is like a workload resilience. Okay, for example, I just explained you about redundancy, right? So if you want to provide uninterrupted service, you have to provide redundant environment as well. For example, if my primary server goes down, okay, there is a second server, we call it like a secondary, and the secondary server will be primary, and then user will get the application from the secondary server, right? Now all this service, yeah, require like a failover. So suppose if my primary server goes down, it will be failover into the secondary server, and it will take time. Okay, now if I'm going for the cloud infrastructure, this resiliency will be provided by the cloud service provider. Okay, so I do not need to worry about the resiliency. If any of the data center goes down, I do not need to worry about it. Okay, I will get the user is like an uninterrupted service. Okay, and we call it a workload resilience. Fifth advantage is migration flexibility. For example, you are having on-premises infrastructure. This is the servers that you have, and if you want to migrate all your servers from your on-premises infrastructure to cloud, you can migrate them using the cloud service provider facility. Same way, if you are in the cloud, your servers are deployed in the cloud, and if you want to migrate from cloud to on-premises, you can, the cloud service provider will give you this facility as well. Okay, and nowadays cloud service providers are giving us a one better service that you can migrate your servers from one cloud service provider to other cloud service provider as well. For example, I just deploy my servers into the Microsoft Azure, and I realize that okay, this is good, but I want to deploy my servers into Amazon, and I want to migrate my servers from Azure to Amazon. You can get this migration facility as well. Okay, so these are the 5 characteristics of the cloud service, and this is a self-service provisioning, elasticity, pay per use, workload resilience, and migration flexibility. Okay, so if you have any question, you can comment below, and I will try to give answer within a 24 hours. Okay, and this is our first topic. I hope you understand it as well. And now in the next topic, we are going to talk about type of cloud services. Thank you very much.